Let your red panda out, ladies! Turning Red, just recently released on Disney Plus exclusively and is directed by Dumi Chi, who made her directorial debut with this film, but has also been behind other Pixar films like Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, The Incredibles 2, and Toy Story 4. And this film is starring the voices of Rosalie Xiang, Sandra Oh, Ava Morse, Hien Park, Orion Lee, Wei Xingho, and James Hong. And this film is the next animation chapter in the legacy of the film studio Pixar, who has been murdering the letter I for almost 30 years now. Mei Li is a 13-year-old Chinese-Canadian student who is definitely an overachiever, focusing so much on her school activities and being with her friends, but most importantly, trying to live up to the expectations of her parents, in particular her mother. But she is 13, and for any of you out there that remember what 13 is like, you know that this is the age where some chemicals in your body start shooting. So Mei starts getting sexual feelings towards boys in her class, and also the amazing boy band called Four Town. But her family is a little different than normal teenagers, because when Mei starts getting excited, she turns into a giant red panda. So now Mei is having to deal with being a teenager when puberty starts happening, and then also keeping her red panda at bay. The best way I could put this film is that it's like Big Mouth, the show Big Mouth on Netflix, just the Disney-ified version of that. Because let's face it, teenagers are pretty disgusting. And I know that for a fact because I used to be one. You start sweating when you have no reason to start sweating. You start reeking of BO even though you put deodorant on, sometimes just so overpowering. Me, as a teenage boy, started getting all of these small little invisible hairs on the top lip of my mouth. And when you turn 13, you start experiencing sexual feelings towards people. All of a sudden, all of your thoughts that used to be controlled solely by this start getting controlled by another part of your body. Regardless of sex, gender, sexual orientation, whatever, all of us have been teenagers and all of us have been sexually active. And I gotta say, I am shocked that Disney took on a story and a topic like this. When I think of puberty and experiencing your first sexual awakening as a teenager, I do not think of Disney. Disney, the movie studio that brought you so many different films about young princesses who have just been locked away in cages and have never experienced puberty and just want a handsome prince to come in and kiss them and take them away and be queens and princesses for the rest of their life. So dealing with a realistic topic like this, however in a more fantastical way, with turning into a giant red panda, it's still very impressive that they took on a subject matter like this. And to say that the red panda is a metaphor for so many different things, in particular so many different female things when it comes to puberty, is an understatement. And what is also very impressive is their handling of a woman, of a female experiencing all of these different chemicals shooting in her body and showcasing all of the stereotypical lines that are said to a woman who is experiencing her sexual awakening at that young age. Put your red panda away, keep your panda under control. Your red panda is distracting all of the boys in your class. We still live in a patriarchal society and it's disgusting, it's terrible. Everyone, regardless of your sex, your sexual orientation, your gender, should experience their own sexual awakening without the judgments that we have nowadays. I say nowadays, but they've been around for so long. We live in a world where a boy experiencing his sexual awakening and going after several different sexual conquests is admired. Oh, he has notches under his belt. Way to go, dude! Whereas if a woman does that, that is looked down upon and they're labeled as a slut or a sleaze or a hoosie. That's what this film is getting at. Equality for your own sexual awakening. And it's so freaking weird that I'm saying the word sexual in a Disney film like this. Even though there have been sexual subliminal messages in Disney films going back, gosh, all the way to the 50s. The Priest and Little Mermaid, you know what I'm talking about. And I love the use of culture in this film. This is a Canadian family. When's the last time that we saw a Canadian family in a Disney film before? I don't think we've ever seen that. So seeing this character Mei deal with the idea of being a Canadian, but also serving towards her Chinese heritage and her family that is very ancestral, and pay honor to their previous gods gods. You feel for this character. You feel for this character of wanting to just appease everyone and be the best person they could possibly be. So when she starts feeling all of these new feelings and the chemicals start shooting in her body and going off and changing things, changing her hair color, changing the way she behaves, you feel for her. And we all relate to her. And I just kept screaming at the screen, you do what you want, girl. You experience the way you want to experience. Your parents are trying to shun you and trying to have you keep your panda at bay. If you want to go out and let your red panda out and your panda flag fly, you go and do it, sister. I related to this movie so much. I grew up in a family that was very, oh, no, you don't do anything sexual. You don't experience anything sexual ever. I recall mom bragging about not having her first kiss or being in her first really big relationship until she was like 25. But she never really loved my father, so it was like, well, it's not really something that you should be bragging about, Mom. Come on. But I'm loving this movie solely based on the universals. Everyone, every person in the world at one point in their lives is going to relate to this character and this situation. And we shouldn't live in a world that tries to suppress what is natural in your body that is trying to come out. You should just let it come out and then see where it goes. May's mother in this film is, gosh, it's so annoying, and I hated her so much because she was being so overprotective of her. She's ashamed that this red panda situation is actually happening to her, but she also loves her and wants to keep her safe from all of the evil people out in the world, in particular teenage boys. But you know what would have prevented all of this conflict? If she just would have had an honest, loving conversation with her daughter, letting her know that what is happening to her body is okay, and you need to make your own decisions in your life what you want to do with that red panda power. You know, it's like the Jonathan Kent and Clark Kent situation, just with, you know, the mother here and the red panda. I'm very impressed with this film, and I'm super glad I watched it, and I think this is a film that should be a must-see for every teenager out there, because every teenager is gonna go through a red panda situation like this. And it just showcases how sucky it is to be a teenager, because that's when everything is changing, when you go from a kid and you're transforming into an adult, and everyone around you kind of doesn't know how to act with you. We don't know if we should be treating you like a kid, or if we should start treating you as an adult. It's a sucky time to be alive. But hopefully everyone makes it through and lets their red panda flag fly. I'm gonna give Turning Red 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
So guys, if you've seen Turning Red, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.